My point to all that is, just when you think shit's not going right in your life and when you think what you're doing is not impacting others and you're not making any progress to that end goal, you're proven wrong. You're proven wrong by your results. You're proven wrong by the tangible results that you can see from putting in the work. It's an amazing thing, guys, and it comes when you least expect it. What is up, guys? Welcome back. You guessed it. You've got yourself a little bonus episode. Before I get into the show today, I just want to ask you guys once again, if you're hearing the show for the first time, please hit the subscribe button and share me your thoughts by leaving a review on Apple or Spotify. Well, look, this is a special thank you to you guys, my listeners, because yesterday I was informed on listennotes.com that this show has been placed in the top 5% globally. I got to tell you, this is an emotional one for me. I can remember just seeing everybody win with their show, just getting so much notoriety, so many subscriptions, so many reviews. And I was kind of left here sitting here thinking like, man, when's my time coming? And there was a lot of times where I felt like I was alone in the battle. And I just want to let you guys know that in those moments, I dug my heels in and I went harder and harder each episode by bringing the best guests I possibly could, by having the best conversations, by bringing the best energy to you guys, because I give so much and care so much to you, my listeners, to this show. This is my baby. Now, don't get me wrong, I love my 3 children, but this is a different love, and I am just elated and full of just happiness of where this is going. Now, none of this is possible without my amazing audience. So this is a special thank you episode to you and my guests, but more so to you guys, because you guys are the ones that share the episode. You're the ones that are leaving the reviews on Spotify and Apple. You're the ones listening every single week. And without you, this show may not be where it's at. So, again, I recognize that there's a big part that I've played in this as well with my determination, my grit, and working at it. But you guys are just so much appreciated. I love you guys so, so much. So without further ado, here's what I want to do. I just want to talk a little bit about where this thing started, right? It started about 2.5 years ago, as you know, and it was a little bitty show and everybody thought it was cute. Oh, Shawn, how's that little podcast going? Now, that's okay. You know, I took it personal and I decided to go on a journey of working my ass off to make sure this is the best show possible, not just for me, but for y'all. Like, I wanted value. I wanted big guests, and it didn't start off that way. It started off by me in my den, no sign, no microphone, no camera, doing it off this here iPhone. If you are watching this video on YouTube, it was on a damn iPhone. And I remember recording the first episode over and over and over again to a point where I was getting so frustrated because I thought I sounded so fucking dumb. But here we are 2 years, 3 years later, actually about 2.5 years later, and we're sitting at top 5%. I just can't believe it. And don't get me wrong, that was the goal all along. But now I'm seeing top 1% by the end of Q1, right? Like, we're going to keep pushing and cranking out amazing guests and amazing content and great conversations. But so, yeah, rewind 3 years ago. Like, I would literally do a podcast episode in my VW Atlas. It is an SUV, a Volkswagen Atlas SUV. And I would get out of the gym and I'd have a thought in there. Something would happen. It would strike some type of nerve. And I'd get in my car and I'd vent and I would just go through it and just leave whatever thoughts I had out there into the atmosphere on this podcast. Now, then what happened is one day I was sitting there after, halfway through season 2, and I realized that there was a video feature through Anchor and I could, upload video from Zoom. I'm like, holy shit, I don't need a studio. Because for the longest time, I thought I needed a big studio with big flashy stuff in order to have this amazing show. It's really not the case, guys. It's really not the case at all. You can start your show anywhere. I digress. So I started uploading Zooms to Anchor, and I had it all wrong. I was having my guest on. I was already recording. I'm like, hey, there she is. There he is. And then my good friend Christy Primer says to me, she goes, hey, you might want to think about doing the intro and not hitting record until the guest is there. It's just going to flow much better. I'm like, oh, let's do that. And then I completely fucked up her intro by mispronouncing her last name because I was so damn nervous. So just understand that it was an evolution of everything. Sorry if you guys can hear my daughter in the background. Mia, I'm on a podcast, right? So what happened next is I just started reaching out to people. I looked up to this dude named Larry Hagner, who's the host of the Dad Edge podcast. And I sent him a voice memo, and I'll be damned if he didn't respond, agreeing to be on my show. So I tell my wife, Jacqueline, I'm like, oh my God, I have to go and get a sign now. I'm going to go print something out, my logo, and I'm going to put it in a frame at CVS, and I'm going to put it right behind me, and I'm official now. See, I thought that was just the shit right there. Like, wow, I'm moving forward. This is incredible. So we did a couple shows like that, and then I realized, like, oh my God, I don't have any music. I can't release Larry's show without any background music, the intro, the outro, any type of post-production. Because the very next day, DJ, the co-host from Real AF, Andy Frisella's show, agreed to be on my show. So I was like, holy shit, I have all these things that I need to do to make this worth them coming on. So then I found a podcast editor, and then it was all over from there. Now, recently, I'm starting to do all my editing myself now because something I need to do for me in order to be able to teach the people I coach how to do it. So I digress. So then I end season 2 with the amazing Gia McCool, first form sponsored athlete, model, but most important, an amazing entrepreneur with a big old brain. And it was an amazing show, and it blew up. And at that point, I decided to take about 3 months off to kind of figure out what my next move was. And so during that time, I already had the microphone and the 4K camera. And I was like, I'm going to get a sign made. So then I hit season 3 with a sign and kicked it off with one of my best friends, Stephen Campolo. And from there, it's just materialized, guys. You guys have seen it the last year. You guys have seen the guests and the amazing conversations. The direction this show is going is only up. I'm super happy and blessed and fortunate and just elated, as I've said earlier, of where this has gone. I do my best to bring the content that is going to relate to everybody, that it can play some type of inspirational role in your life. That's the goal of this podcast. It's not just to talk to big celebrities and entrepreneurs and professional athletes and musicians. Spoiler alert, there's some big country singers coming on next season or next year, which don't worry, guys, January's in a few days. So my point to all that is, just when you think shit's not going right in your life and when you think what you're doing is not impacting others and you're not making any progress to that end goal, you're proven wrong. You're proven wrong by your results. You're proven wrong by the tangible results that you can see from putting in the work. It's an amazing thing, guys, and it comes when you least expect it. So here's my guarantee to you guys. I'm going to keep going. We are going to continue to go and rise and rise and rise and rise until this shows the top 0.0001% globally. I love you guys, and you have to understand that everything we need in order to move forward is inside of us already. You don't need permission from anybody else. You need permission for yourself. So I love you guys. Talk to you soon.